Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Onward. My name is Dan. Today is day 5 of my 30-day YouTube challenge, and it is getting easier, but it's still pretty strange talking to a camera, just rambling on. Yesterday, I was talking about my great grandfather and my adventures and experiences growing up with him, and it brought back a lot of good memories, a lot of interesting things to I'll touch on as we go along. But something I was thinking about this morning is I feel like sometimes I'm too nice of a person. And I'll never forget a few years ago, I worked with a guy who, for all intents and purposes, was an asshole, is the best way you could describe him. But I'll be danged if he didn't get stuff done, and he was pretty successful. And I kind of started emulating him in some ways. I stopped being nice all the time. And it worked out kind of awkwardly good for me. It's a very unnatural feeling not always being the nice guy. And wow, I'm stuck on this. Again, no script, just raw dogging this. Uh, Suddenly people respected me a lot more and realized that I wasn't quite the pushover that they thought I was. And I started being more successful in life. So that was kind of a takeaway that I just wanted to hit on this morning, real quick. That sometimes being the nice guy does not always is not always the right thing to do. So we'll come back to that. Uh, there's a God, this is really hard. Just raw dogging this. Ugh. Got started a little bit earlier today. Obviously, the dog doesn't want to participate, so hopefully he'll stay quiet. Not my dog. I don't have any pets or children. I've got some plants. That's about it. But the neighbor's dog decided to participate in our conversation yesterday. So I guess what I kind of wanted to expand on today was it's going to be all right after you separate from your partner. Um, I remember an immense feeling of loss that never completely has gone away, even after 12 years. I still miss her every once in a while, still miss our experiences. We had a great life together. Um, I think back on those times really fondly. Man, this is really harder than I thought. I don't think this is going to be a successful video. trying to think of stuff to come up with here off the cuff. Make it more natural rather than just a scripted super video. Anywho, the days after her and I separated were extremely awkward, but also extremely, I'm trying to say, I felt better than I had probably felt in my entire life. That sense of relief, that sense of, okay, we've made this decision. I left, I moved out. I threw everything I owned in my car and did what a lot of people do, headed to mom and dad's house at the ripe age of, let's see, I was 41, I think, 42, somewhere around in there, 43, 40, 43. And headed down to California. We were living in Seattle at the time, and I was sick and tired of the weather. It was getting ready to be springtime in California, so that seemed like the best idea. came down and did a lot of fishing with my dad. Had a lot of really good talks with my dad. Spent a lot of quality time with him. Time that I'm very thankful for now, especially seeing how he's not here anymore. And he tried to help me out as best as he could, but he had never been divorced before. Him and my mom had been together for a long time, and so he really didn't quite have what I was looking for as far as advice. So I went out looking for it on my own. Kind of started going online. Kind of, let's see, it would have been around 2017, I think, somewhere around in there. Into 2014. Gosh, time flies. I'm gonna have to write all this down. Kind of at the very beginning of some of this red pill movement, some of the things you hear about guys kind of discovering things aren't exactly. You learn that women aren't all sugar and spice. And again, I don't mean for this to be a big bash women channel. That's not what this is about at all. I love women dearly. Have a lot of I know let's anyways, you get the idea. Gosh, this is hard. So I set out on my own to try and figure life out. One of the very first things I did was I went on about a week-long backpacking trip in Yosemite National Park, which is fairly close to where I grew up. I actually lived in the park when I was 18 for a summer, worked up there. So kind of a second, third home to me. Went on a backpacking trip and just got close to nature. That was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. And I realized that right away, that being close to nature and being out in the woods and being out on the lake and being at the beach, that was exactly what I needed. And that really helped me heal. So I guess if I had some advice on what to do after you split, go on a trip, take a backpacking trip, or go camping. If you've never been camping before, go try it out. It was a blast. I love camping. Good friend of mine, she calls it practicing being homeless. When I heard it explained that way, it kind of took some of the shine off camping. I kind of looked around my campsite and went, yeah, actually, I kind of am practicing being homeless. Let's hope I'm never homeless again. I was homeless once when I was 21, kind of accidentally. That's a whole nother story. It was in Alaska. Quite an adventure. Anyways, getting close to nature was very therapeutic. This morning I watched another channel, Gooby and Dooby, and the guy is out in the most beautiful parts of Washington. Man, if you haven't seen him, check it out. He's got some good cinematography. I'm super envious. I miss Washington in the summertime. This is just one big rambling video. It's not really going to go anywhere. It's not really meant to. It's just for me to get used to talking to the camera and kind of make a bunch of mistakes. Boy, I seem to be making them today. This is not coherent at all. It's not nearly as smooth as I was hoping it was going to be. So I don't want to delete this. I just want to do these first ones, probably the first 10, fairly unscripted. It's kind of my plan. See where this goes. If you're a new YouTuber like me, you can watch me and see what not to do, I suppose. Who knows? Maybe the algorithm will pick this up somehow and it'll get 1 million views and everybody will have a good laugh at Dan's expense. We'll see. So, so yeah, if you've suffered a big breakup, get close to nature. That backpacking trip changed my life and set me on a trail, on a path to where I am now. Just that one simple little trip. I actually hiked the north rim of Yosemite National Park. It's a thing I'd wanted to do for a long time. One of the things I remember about that is when I got back to Yosemite Valley, I jumped on the shuttle bus to catch a ride back to my car. And I remember everybody smelling so good except for me. Oh my God, I stunk. Ugh. And on the trail, you could always tell the day hikers because they smelled really good. I did not. Anywho, more total rambling, total throwaway video just to see where this goes. Let's see. How else did I survive my initial separation? One thing I did that I kind of regret, and again, luckily I had somebody in my life to pull my head out of my ass, was my drinking alcohol. I was probably a borderline alcoholic there. I was going through vodka and wine at a pretty good clip. I highly recommend doing everything you can to stay sober. As they say, embrace the suck. I was trying to cover up a lot of my pain with alcohol. It did not work at all. It wasn't until I actually got into trucking and was forced to stop drinking alcohol on a daily basis that I really got the clarity and mental clarity to address some issues that I had been kicking that can down the road and trying to cover up and hide from with alcohol. So stay sober, get close to nature, go for a walk on the beach. If you can't go on a backpacking trip, go for a walk. Go for a walk on your local bike path. Whatever you got to do, those are my top two recommendations. Let's see. What else did I do back then? I eventually, once I kind of got settled into a routine, separated, divorced, I focused a lot on. I got back into cycling too. I kind of started focusing on my health. Like they say, most guys, you're like, woohoo! I'm on the free market here. We got to make ourselves better. So I got back into cycling. The bike here hasn't been ridden in ages. I need to air up the tires and get back on it. I'm going to head back up to Central California next week. So maybe I'll take it with me and put some miles in. I call this thing my mental floss. It's probably a good topic for another video, is the idea of mental floss. Yeah, I got back into cycling, got back into hiking, backpacking, fishing a lot more. Just being outdoors really, really helped. This video is not coming together the way I hoped. Anywho, well, this has been kind of a train wreck of a video. Let's see, I want to go at least 15 minutes here, kind of push myself a little bit. My initial goal was to make these videos about 5 minutes long, and then I quickly found that I could go easily 10 minutes. Now it's, okay, let's try and push it out, see where we can go. Wow. Okay, well, this is close enough to 15 minutes. I think we can call it here. Thank you for stopping by. Again, my name is Dan. If you stayed for this train wreck, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Have a great day and continue moving onward.